Shabbat shalom, bitch. I have a lot of things on the docket. A lot of this was recorded over the span of the last 2 days. And as promised, I'm going through each and every one of them that I have on the docket. They might even appear out of order. For most of those who are expecting this to come on Saturday, I'm sorry. I just didn't have the mental energy to deal with it. There's way too much autism on my list I gotta get through here. And that's not even following the big shebang that's gonna come later at the very, very end of this grand finale. Without further ado, allow me to offer you my takes about Cuties, otherwise referred to in French as Minogus, Mignonis, or Cuties. The girl about the film about the all-girl twerk team of preteens. Yeah, that's a weird one to me. I saw this when it happened on the timeline, but I did not respond to it at time. I wanted to see if more information was relevant. And lo and behold, it is. What it appears is it is a case of two things. One, a consequence of what happens when you make a project with people who are of the age of the thing that you're trying to present, being the standard that you set forward for creative projects, the result of trying to stay away from Dawson casting people who are above the age of what you're casting for, casting a 20 something as a teenager, shit like that. Named, of course, for the actual method of how they casted Dawson's Creek, and also things that they use in other child adjacent and child facing forward media like Power Rangers. And two, Netflix really starting to expose how full of shit they are with their "we're not speaking truth to power, we're an entertainment company" stance that they've had ever since their ruling on the Qatari silencing of the Patriot Act, a show that I think has just recently ended on Netflix. You don't really need a plot synopsis of the film, do you? I think everybody's pretty much gone through what you need to hear there. Let me tell you what I think, however. Like I said, it's two things running. The result of what happens when you do Dawson casting, and the result of what happens when you have a company that cares more about getting clicks and promoting a product to get it as big as possible without realizing the ramifications of what they have just done. The most important detail is that this is a film that is criticizing the sexualization of young minors, male and female, but in this film, focused on the females. Because of the fact that you have children presenting and acting in a script around such behaviors, like flirting with boys twice their age, or something like that, or specifically, girls being obsessed with, let's call it urban culture, so much so that they are obsessed with trying to perform as a twerk team, and that your lead, Amy, as they pronounce her name throughout the film, is struggling with this challenging of self-identity. It is the fact that this film is supposed to be anti-pedo shit that you start to question, why did Netflix feature it? You know the one. You know the poster I'm talking about. Why did they feature its premiere and its debut as though it was endorsing that? Like Jack Kids. And it appears the answer is that they didn't care. They didn't actually watch what they were promoting. Because it's one of two things. Either one, Netflix is incompetent and they just wanted the clicks for outrage bait. Or two, they made a willful choice to try to sell it to a pedo bait audience. Now, the ramifications there that I've seen is that there are people saying, "Oh my God, they're not." This is something that was common with Vito Gasol, a member who calls himself a member of the Dirtbag Left, who's really mad when people called him out before when they were inconsistent on standards and things like EGS having actual fucking shareware in their store in the form of something like Borderlands 3, running that 2 megabyte upload rate on the virtual machine on the background of your console so that I say console as in computer, but if the thing was running and it fell below that threshold, it would automatically close. People like that who are trying to take this angle and stance to say, yeah, the promotional material's bad, but if you keep having that opinion, that just means that you just want to be outraged. And a bunch of other people like that saying, yeah, y'all are just victims of outrage marketing, and you're not going to let go of the fact that you were tricked. It's not even that people were tricked, because if anybody tricked people, it's Netflix themselves. And not because it was a good tricking, like, haha, I fooled you, I got you, you thought it was one thing, but it's actually another. No, that's not what it is. It was them incompetently trying to feature and sell a movie against what it was supposed to be for. And the reason why that's so fucking bad, if you don't think about it, because a lot of y'all didn't think about it before you made these stupid ass hot takes. The reason why that's so bad is that now it reflects poorly, infinitely, onwards and forever, for the existence of that media. There was a whole bunch of videos I had before that I wanted to do that I probably won't do since I'm talking about it now. But there's a concept in video marketing in a platform like that of Netflix that when you make content, it is both a method of hosting and promoting the work that you want to talk about and show, while at the same time allowing it to be featured as just one of many pieces, right? That's why it's so important that there are so many goddamn on-platform originals. A Netflix original, a YouTube original, a Hulu original, a Disney Plus original. Original content is both a marketing tool and a productive evergreen content source itself. When you make it yourself, rather than just doing what something like, say, Fox did. Was it Fox? I want to think it was Fox. But Fox did. Letting go of Lucifer, and then getting picked up by Netflix, and then being able to expand on the show, so it's not just a cop procedural, but it's an actual show with drama and character and points and shit, whether it be fair or foul. All those shows, Stranger Things, Castlevania, as done by Adi Shankar, all those things, and all the things that they manage now, those are all selling points to bring you to watch the content on the platform. Big mouth the rest of them. Fair or foul, if you like the shows or if you don't like the shows, if the thing that you were brought there to see turned out to be trash, that's okay. We got 50 billion other things for you to watch. I think it was Red Letter Media on an episode that I think was about all of the Blumhouse films that were just dumped on a platform. I think it was Hulu they dumped them on. Or was it Amazon Prime? I don't know. They use the analogy that it's filling the buffet of content to consume, where if a subscription service can be seen as the difference between asking a specific person, a director, to present to you a really good film that was made in the kitchen, you know, cinematography, using cinematography as an allegory to as kitchen cooking. You ask a person to make you a nice, delicious meal, you know. If I was to ask someone to make me a nice, delicious piece of toku, and they made that piece of tokusatsu, they baked it, they double stuffed it with love and memes and jokes, and they offered it to me on a serviceable platter, not only can I consume it, but I can also say, here, nephew, have some of this. You know, might like it. Right? Because I know that that's good. Because it was made of quality, but it might be more expensive. There might be some restrictions made on it. And no matter what you do, that is what it is. You get what you paid for. In the case of Netflix and other streaming services like this, it runs a little bit of a different gambit. It's more like going to a hibachi grill, and they have all this content here for you to watch. All the shit that you need to see. And because they want you to see the good shit, they put the best shit up front. Like, hey, we got Stranger Things. We've got we've got reruns of I Don't Know What My Husband's Saying. We've got One Piece. You like One Piece? We got One Piece. You like Detective Conan? We got Detective Conan too. We have the Ultraman adaptation. We have Net Note. Come on, try our delicatessen. It's good. It's fine. It's nice and savory. And you ponder over the choices you have in front of you, right? And out there, you have your big mouths. You got your Witcher Netflixes. You've got your Cursts. You have all these shows, and then you have all the shows that they acquire on the back end. Like for me, I like C dramas, K dramas, and J dramas. So I go looking there. They got shit like Oh My Goddess. They have the King's Avatar. Because originally, when I got Netflix for the first time on my own, of my own subscription, I wanted to watch Glow. And ever since I kind of fell out of lust with Glow, I just sat there thinking, why do I have this? Is it just an opportunity for me to watch content that comes out, to review it for content on my own channel? And obviously the answer is yes. But at the same time, I asked myself, why do I have this? You have nothing I want. Why am I paying you? So I just dropped it. In this case, Cuties is trying to be the killer app. To say, in this case, I guess in the analogy, it's the killer appetizer. Try our new house hors d'oeuvres, Cuties with a side of pedo bait. And the problem is that when you feature the show, or in this case, the movie, when you feature the movie like this, when you show it in this light, oh god, something happened to the picture. There we go. When you feature the movie like this, when you put it in this production light, when you put it in this fucking commercial light, when you put it as advertisement by saying, hey guys, come, I gotta pin the fucking thing down for this. But you have the fucking thumbnail, and the thumbnail's like, hey guys, welcome to the twerk team. When you got them looking up at the camera like this, with them all having their fucking crazy ass phrases, and that one girl who I said looks like she's 34 even though she's 13, you got her in the back like this, what the fuck do you expect people to have? They're gonna have a visceral reaction. Because that's what you're promoting it as. That's the first thing you show them. So the first thing they're gonna ask is, are you fucking crazy? What are you doing? What is this for? Who asked for this? Who told you to do this marketing? At the end of the day, you're just gonna start spinning the wheel of, how did this happen? Who didn't call this out? Who made these decisions? And if you're someone who's stupid enough to have the choice, because it is stupid to make that kind of take. If you're stupid enough to have the idea and thought in your mind to say, oh, they did that on purpose to get you to watch it. Okay, I'm gonna pirate it. Why the fuck would I get money for that? No, I'm about to pirate this shit and then make content about it for free. What do you mean? That's what happens there. There is no way in hell, with a sensible and large and smart mind, anyone looks at this situation, or any situation that's ever like it, and says, yes, I'm gonna give you, what's the fucking subscription cost now? $8.99. I'm gonna give you close to $10 whole dollars to give me a shit product on a shit service that doesn't give me enough things to watch and enough things to care about because you expect me to give a shit. Yes, I have no standards. I have no taste. This is good. This is fine. And like, I understand, right? I watch shit like Riverdale as a guilty pleasure and to punish myself. But at the same time, that doesn't mean I'm not about to watch Cuties and say, oh yes, this was lovely. I loved every single piece about it. When, in the interim leading up to this, nobody wanted to come forward until they were dragged across the internet to say, hey, we actually made a misstep here. We fucked up. We're sorry. Please watch our content. I mean, at the end of the day, I gotta give you the benefit of the doubt. I'll give the company that. I'll give the host that. But I'm not giving people who have dumbass takes where they try to shame people over that, about that. No, you don't get that. Because, on one hand, I want to give benefit of the doubt to the director, because maybe she didn't know. Maybe she did not think that that would happen when this was featured at Sundance. Because this was featured at the film festivals, guaranteed. That's why it's on the service. It was their way of doing a Gaspar Noé. They were gonna bring the film over from France, like they tried to do with something like Into the Void, and I hope that they would do with Mayhem, so that more people could see it. Because, you know, we ain't got theaters open right now. My theaters locally here, both the two ones that are within walking distance, both closed. How the fuck am I gonna see it, other than on the internet, right? It's just good business. But at the same time, how do you not know they're doing this? Like, are you just watching across Twitter, and the first day that it went up, they didn't come to you and say, hey, what poster did you want us to use? Like, did you want us to make something up? Did you want us to create something? Something that might, you know, tease what happens later in the film? No one fucking knows. We probably won't ever know. Because if they did, they have to fire the person who did that. Right? But at the same time, I don't want to say, oh, she didn't know. Maybe she did know. And she just said, nah, fuck it. Who cares? Who matters? You know? All around, no matter how you slice it, with Cuties, it's just weird. Just really weird. Personally, I have not yet seen the film. So, take that with a grain of salt. Maybe I'm just faking the gay. I don't know. But, for me, Watching this shit develop is fucking strange. It's just really fucking strange. Maybe in the future, Netflix will learn that maybe saying, oh, we don't have to take responsibility, it's just, we made this product and we didn't expect it to be like this. Maybe they'll stop using that as an excuse to justify promoting dumb shit that shouldn't be promoted like that. But I'm not saying that Cuties shouldn't exist. If the film is about a message of anti-pedo bait, and you feature it as pedo bait, I think there's a lot to be said there, that the message of your film was ignored by the entire industry that was supposed to be promoting its existence. And maybe that means it should exist even more. That's more of a reasoning for it to be seen. And if that's what you want, if you want people to watch the content, people are going to pirate it. They're going to see it. They're going to talk about it. I mean, we did so for Cuck. I'm already planning to for Kraka. So, who's to say that we won't do that for you? But, at the end of the day, you can't force me to watch it. Right? Because maybe it's uncomfortable. I don't know. I'm going to watch it, but maybe in this future, where I'm a bitch and I can't handle it, I say it's uncomfortable. I can't see it. I can't stand it. No, no, please. My virgin eyes can't take this. Right? If that happens, and you're one of the people out there that say, oh, you can't see it, that means you don't have a right to speak about it, that means you don't get to talk shit. Period. Because if they don't want to see it, and they don't want to watch it because of what they heard about it, or what they thought might be in it, because of how it was fucking promoted, well, who are you going to blame there? You're going to blame the person who saw the content that they put out, or the person who created the advertisement for the content? Because if you're going to say, oh, you're such a weak bitch, you can't handle it, then that means you should watch it, and then you should tell people what's in it, and put that on yourself for that purpose. You should do that. That's what Vito and people like that should do, if that's what they did. I bet you that they won't. They'll find another thing to talk about so they can move on, so they can court controversy without having to take responsibility for the shit that they say and they do, both on and off the timeline on another website, so that they never have to address it in a video. But if you do that, use a full bitch, and you deserve what you have coming to you for that. If that means people mock you, and that means people hold it against you, then that's what that means. But at the end of the day, content. You can choose to watch it, or you can choose to ignore it. But what you don't get to do is mock people for not being able to be not a bitch about it. We're living in very weird times where people are being bullied and being harassed for not saying certain kinds of words in defense of this complexion. So yeah, no, I'm not going to hold it against people that don't want to watch a goddamn movie. If they watch your movie and they feel something and that's the message they needed to hear, that's the message they needed to hear. If they don't feel that, if they don't see that, then, well, make a better film next time. Well, I don't know. That's enough for this one. I have a lot more ahead of me. I'm already pouring fucking sweat. See you in 5 minutes.